What's up, YouTube? Knowledge is self-determination. So, I I just watched the video, and it was with the dude, the scam artist, Cornell X. Yeah, I know. I watched the video of this kid, but he's actually addressing the Starbucks incident with the brothers in Philly. Now, what I didn't know apparently was that the person that they were waiting for was a third black man who walked into the Starbucks, and he was arrested too. So there were 3 black men arrested in Philly that day. I wasn't aware of that. And what I'm trying to understand is how the fuck in a nation where we're supposed to be a post-racial society, because this is what the politicians like to say. They like to throw out that phrase, a post-racial America. we're beyond the state the phase of Jim Crow. We're beyond that point, right? But yet a black man can't sit in a restaurant or sit in a Starbucks and not order without white people feeling scared and feeling feeling like they need to call the police. Why would a place offer free Wi-Fi but then tell you can't be there? But why black men? I see people at Starbucks every day. You know what I'm saying? Sitting outside or whatever, utilizing their property, using their benches and their tables and stuff, freeloading off the fucking Wi-Fi, sitting outside smoking a cigarette or whatever, or reading the paper. I have never seen that happen. It's never happened to me, right? But I've never seen that happen before, and simply because of fear. Didn't I just make a fucking video about white people and their fucking fear? And if I didn't, I sure as the fuck been talking about it. But anyway, so Cornell X is debating this little short looked like he might be Jewish. I don't know. This little short, funny looking white man, right? Now this dude says that any private business should have the right to basically remove anybody from their premises who they feel like they should be able to. Isn't that why we have anti-discrimination laws? Isn't this exactly some of the shit that we went through during Jim Crow? The fact that white people could remove us from their premises just because they fucking felt like it. And this white dude is actually arguing that there was no racial discrimination or bias there. There was no white supremacy there. But here's the thing though. The CEO of Starbucks is coming out and saying, oh, how he apologizes for it. But the manager of the Starbucks was not fired for racially discriminating. Starbucks doesn't give a flying fuck. They don't give a fuck. You understand what I'm saying? But not drinking Starbucks coffee isn't the answer. Black people, stop spending your fucking money with people who don't like us. It's not just Starbucks, man. We spend our money with people who don't fuck with us every day while black businesses struggle to get the fuck off the ground. You understand? And then when black businesses find a way to market their products to all people, then you want to call them sellouts and call them coons. But your black ass wouldn't bother to fucking spend $1 in their shop. You only noticed it when they started selling to other races of people and marketing to them. Then it became an issue with you. Fuck out of here, man. I mean, I've heard stories of black-owned businesses. Black people come into the business and complain about the prices if they're 5 or 10 cents more than an Asian store, especially if a black person's working the store. But you put an Asian person in the place of that black person, black people come in and spend their money without a fucking complaint. We have been trained to fucking hate each other. We have been trained to be each other's enemies. We have been trained to go against each other at all costs, just like white America does, which is why we're not doing all the right shit when things like this happen to our people. We're not on the right path. But anyway, I'm going to get back to this white dude defending the position of white people. What he says was that in situations like this, let the market decide. Really? Because that's how the fuck we ended up with Jim Crow, you stupid son of a bitch, by letting the people take effect and letting them decide who they should treat as outcasts and who they shouldn't treat as outcasts. All white people went along with fucking Jim Crow during that era. All white people went along with Jim Crow Because if they didn't, you prove to me white people who stood up and fought against Jim Crow during the Jim Crow era, that time span between 1865 and 1965. You showed me the fucking white people that stood up and spoke out against Jim Crow during that 100 years. And I will come on this motherfucker and make a video saying that I was fucking wrong. I won't take the video down, but I will retract my statements. Prove that shit to me. Prove it. Because in all these motherfucking years I've been on the planet, nobody's been able to provide that fucking proof. Because it didn't fucking happen. But if you can provide that proof of white people who stood up against Jim Crow during the Jim Crow era, please let me see them. Please let me see them. So you want to come at me with that shit? I'm just saying, look, I'm not saying that white people can't be liberal. Fuck the word liberal. I'm not saying that white people can't be absent of discriminatory practices or absent of bias or racism. I'm not saying that they cannot be absent of it, but you got to fucking prove it. Because when the consensus goes with your race, the rest of you motherfuckers shut the fuck up and sit back. It might be a different case in this new era. The 21st century is a new era. That there are new generations of people who are entering the world of politics, who are entering the business world. You know, so the tide could be shifting. But the fact that we still have to go through this kind of shit, the fact that there's still people out here who believe that certain Jim Crow practices should actually still be in effect. Let's let the market decide. Fuck no. That's what we have laws for. That's what we have laws for. Or that's what we're supposed to have laws for. So that stupid, ignorant, biased people can't allow or cannot be allowed to make decisions that go against other people's rights. That's why we have laws. So the stupid don't get to make shit, don't get to control shit. So ignorance isn't what prevails at the end of the day. You understand? The laws are supposed to blanket everybody, not cherry pick who the fuck it protects and who it doesn't, even though we know the law in the United States does that too. The fact that we're having a conversation like this in the 21st century means that we have had no fucking progress. The fact that we're still having a conversation like this, the fact that white people still feel comfortable enough, like this little short fucking hobbit looking ass motherfucker, to come on and say, let's let the market decide. I don't think Starbucks did anything wrong. If they were sitting there and they weren't buying anything, Starbucks has the right. Really? For them to be arrested? Seriously? For a scared ass white bitch to make up a fucking lie and pretend to be afraid just so white cops can come in and arrest the black man. I can only imagine what that phone call must have sounded like. But I guarantee you that white bitch is on the fucking phone talking like she was terrified. I don't know why they're in here. They won't leave. And we've asked them time and time again. Oh my God, man. Oh my fucking God. Listen. I'm going to just say that I'm glad that certain things don't happen to me. Like, I don't know if you guys notice, I'm a very high-strung type of dude. You know, I'm a very high-strung, high-energy type of dude. I'm very passionate about shit that I care about. You know what I mean? And I'm very vocal. You know, it to my own detriment at times. I will honestly admit, I never tell people to do what I do in any situation, because although I may give you some good advice, at the drop of a dime, depending on how I feel, I might spaz the fuck out. Especially if I feel like I'm not being treated right. Especially if I feel like I'm not being treated right. You know, the police, those brothers did the smart thing. They didn't struggle. They didn't try to fight back, because those cops would have murdered them. I haven't always been that wise in situations like that. You know what I'm saying? But not necessarily like that. Anyway, this isn't even about me, man. This isn't even about me. This is about the fact that we still live in America where shit like that can happen. We still living in America where Farrakhan can't speak the truth about Jewish people and not try to be railroaded by motherfuckers. Where nobody can say anything bad about Jews or gays or white people, but everybody can treat black people like shit. This is the era that we live in. This is the world that black people live in. We can't do or say anything about anybody, but everybody can treat us like shit. Well, I say fuck you, everybody. Fuck you. If you are not for my people, then you are against us. If you are a white person who's not speaking out against racial discrimination, bias, white supremacy, then you are a piece of shit scumbag white person too. If you're not speaking out against that shit, then that means that you give your silent consent of it. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And I also want to say something. I'm going to do a video about this, but did you guys hear about the little black kid who was dragged off of a fucking bus by a white teacher, by his leg, upside down? Did you guys hear about that shit? I'm going to look a little bit more into that, and then I'll do another video on that one as well. But black people, look, it's not just about Starbucks, man. We need to start taking our money and spending it with our own people. Period. 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 For all you bougie Negroes out there who think you better than, go fuck yourself. For all my real ones out there, you know what time it is, man. It's time to buckle down, and it's time to start supporting our own. It's time for us to start thinking bigger and looking into the world of entrepreneurship, as opposed to trying to be a good employee for a motherfucker who don't like you. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you got to go out there and throw bows and fists and fight your way through everything, but this shit has got to stop, man. It's got to stop. But anyway, man, that white dude in his Fox 26 Houston. A lot of you might not be feeling the brother Quanell X, but just so you can hear the white dude, just so you can hear what he was saying, just so you can hear the white supremacy come out of him. You understand what I'm saying? To say that a private business should reserve the right to put anybody out for any reason, that takes us back fucking 50, 60 years, right back to Jim Crow. And I honestly believe that's what white people are trying to do. They're trying to reenact Jim Crow, but they're trying to do it in the most clever way possible. Because Jim Crow was basically white people just turning a blind eye to fucked up shit that happened. The government turning a blind eye. They're doing the same shit again. They're doing the same shit again. Black people, we are at war, man. It's a civil war. I'm not saying to go get a gun and start shooting motherfuckers, but we got to be prepared, man, because we are at war. And I honestly believe that all of this shit is leading. They're trying to bring us to the tipping point. They want us to overreact. They want a reason to try to eradicate us off the planet, man. Or shuttle us into fucking into prisons with your fucking concentration camps. I honestly believe that. Why else would there be so much shit happening to antagonize black people in this country? So many incidents, so many black people being murdered. So many incidents with the police. So many incidents with the fucking current administration. So many motherfucking racist incidents. They're trying to goad us into a particular position. I don't like the way this shit is looking. But I know at the end of the day, whether I like the way it's looking or not, we might end up having to stand our ground, man. Real talk. And if you are a happy-go-lucky goofball motherfucker who don't think shit is real, then you probably be the first one to get lumped up.